Hey, Rising Rams! It is week 3 of social studies, and I'm here to give you an overview of everything that you need to accomplish this week and next week for social studies. So let's take a look at our Google Classroom. Click on classwork, and social studies, week 3 and 4 is the blue heart. So these are all the assignments that you need to complete this week in social studies. And this is a fun week because we are learning about timelines. So let's take a look at our playlist. In our playlist, we are becoming an historian. And when you become an historian, you have to be able to read timelines and understand timelines. So some of the vocab words that you are going to know will be, of course, timeline, historian, primary source, secondary source, and chronological. I love the word chronological because it sounds cool, and it's all about putting events in order. So you're going to be looking at numbers on a timeline, putting them in chronological order. So our I can statements for the week. I can summarize the events of September 11th, 2001. I can construct a timeline of significant events in Ohio and the United States. I can construct a timeline with appropriate titles, evenly spaced intervals for years, decades, and centuries, and events in chronological order. So during this week, we will also be learning about September 11th, which is Patriots Day. Well, we will remember, learn about, and understand what happened on September 11th, 2001, while also learning about timelines. So let's check out our level 1 activities. Learning about it, level 1. So the first activity that we are going to do together is a pre-test on timelines. So let's go ahead and click on this guy. We'll be heading over to Google Classroom, where we are going to take a pre-test, and this is going to be on Procore. So in order to get to Procore, there's a lot of different ways you can go about doing it. One of the easiest way is by going through Clever. So you can go to Clever, log in with Google, choose your email, and then you will see Procore, which is right here. It's a globe. Click on that, and then it'll take you to the Procore login screen. So you have to scroll down to the bottom and choose Westbrook. And then your username is your lunch number, and your password is your last name and first initial. So in order to log into Procore, find Westbrook Village, your username is your lunch number, and your password is last name lunch number, all lowercase. And then go ahead and log in. And when you log in, you will see, and I'll go ahead and log into myself, a whole bunch of assessments like this. And the very first one that we're going to be doing is 01 HIS. And HIS stands for history. And it's a little mini quiz all about timelines. And you'll go ahead and you'll take this. So that is your first assignment. And if you forget how to log on to Procore, I put this handy dandy Google slide right here with directions on how to log in. So if you need help, check that out. So after you finish, you will move on to activity 2. You're going to practice placing events in chronological order on 2 timelines. So let's check it out. You are going to click on the Google slide. And the first thing you're going to do is watch this video. This is going to give you some good background information on what timelines are. And then answer these 2 questions. What is a timeline? And why are timelines important, or why are they useful? And then down here, I need help. You need to rearrange these events into chronological order. So what came first, all the way up to what came last. So what's the number is the least, and what number is the greatest. And you just got to drag and drop to the correct spots, just like that. And you're going to do the same thing for down here. These events are all about inventions. These events are all about important things that happened here in Ohio. So help me rearrange these events into chronological order. That is your second activity for level 1. Your third activity is game time. So you can click on this link to play some games about placing events on a timeline in chronological order. Great way to get some extra practice. Moving on to level 2, practice it. So your first event is you're going to read a timeline of the events on September 11th, 2001 and complete the questions. So let's take a look. So you have to read the interactive timeline of the events of September 11th and then highlight the correct answers. So let's take a look at our handy dandy Google slide. And you might be like, Mrs. Blankenship, that's so small, I can't read that. Don't worry, make it bigger. All you got to do is click the zoom button and you can make it to 100%, you can make it to 200%, and then you'll have no problem reading it. It's this little magnifying glass right up here. So the directions say to visit this website and choose September 11th attack timeline to complete this activity. Then read the following questions and highlight the correct answer. So let's head to this website. And then remember, it says choose September 11th attack timeline. And then it's a very cool interactive timeline where you get to explore everything around you. So you just drag this guy and see all the events from what happened since 5:45 a.m. all the way into 10:30 p.m. on September 11th. That's the cool thing about timelines. It can be based on time, it can be based on days, it can be based on years, it can be based on decades. So you're going to see all the events that happened on September 11th in 2001. So you're going to read the question. This is between 5:45 and 8:14. At what time did Flight 11 take off? So you got to look at the timeline and see, when did Flight 11 take off? You might need to read a little bit about it in order to help answer questions. But I think I see the answer right here. 7:59, Flight 11 takes off. So I'm going to go back to my Google slide and I'm going to highlight 7:59. In order to highlight something, all you got to do is triple click. So click once, twice, 3 times, and then you highlight it by clicking the nifty highlighter tool right up here. And voila! There you go. And then you have to answer a total 3 slides about the timeline. So this is going to take some time, but once you get used to reading the timeline, it will be a breeze. Okay. Activity 2, you get to create your own timeline for a famous person on Google Classroom. So let's take a look. You're going to choose a famous person and determine the top 9 events from their life. And you're going to put those events on a timeline in chronological order. So let's click on this timeline. And you will see a list of people that you can choose from. And if you want to choose somebody else, just let me know and we can probably pick that person. So choose a person from the list and research that person. So you got to Google that and find the top 9 events from their life. For example, you probably want to put when they were born. That's pretty important. Then write the date and a brief description of the event in each box on the timeline. So here's your timeline. So you're going to put the first event here, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. And you'll get 2 points for correctly putting the date and for correctly putting a description of that event. And don't forget, a timeline needs a title, so add a title right there. I can't wait to read these timelines and learn more about some famous people. And then a may-do activity is you can create your own timeline. So maybe you want to create a timeline of your life, maybe of your dog's life, maybe of one of your favorite sports players, anybody you want. But all you got to do is click on this timeline, enable the flash, and you can design your very own timeline. That sounds like fun. Moving on to level 3, evidence of learning. So your must-do activity is taking a post-test about timelines. So that means you're going to go back into Procore and you're going to do the exact same test again, HIS 1. And I'm going to see how much you've improved because of all your hard work on timelines. So log back into Clever, click on Procore, and do O1 HIS again. And then put your score in Google Classroom. Your second activity for level 3 is to read about 9/11. Our country suffered a terrible tragedy 19 years ago, and we want to be able to be productive citizens and learn more about it. So all you have to do is log into RAS and read the text. 9/11, always remember. You're going to take the quiz, and don't forget to go back to the text and find evidence when you answer the questions. And then you got to respond to the following question. What were the effects of the 9/11 terror attacks in 2001? Use evidence from the text to support your answer. This is an ACE question. So you got to answer the question, cite text evidence, explain and extend your answer. It should be at least 3 sentences, and I know you'll do a great job. Okie dokie. In the last part of our playlist is your debrief and reflect. So you're going to answer these questions on Google Classroom. What helped you? What did not help you? And then rate yourself. And this is a great way for me to see what I can do to help be a better teacher so you can learn even more. Well, Rising Rams, I can't wait to see all of our hard work this week about timelines and understanding Patriots Day. And I'm here if you need anything. Message me, email me, chat me, and I can help you. Bye, Rising Rams. I'll see you later.